Oh, hello. How are we all? I'm just going to pause this music for us. Thank you guys so much for joining us on your Thursday evening, and the countdown is on to the 8-week challenge, which starts on Monday.
Come
So you guys are here because you've either registered or thinking of registering. So thank you guys again so much for joining us. We will have some time at the end that you can ask some questions, but also feel free to chuck in the chat box at any time if you do have any questions. More than welcome to do that at any point throughout the session. We're going to try and wrap it up within 30 minutes, but I do like to talk, so good luck. But again, thank you so much for joining us. So what is this 8-week challenge that you've either got yourself signed up for or you're thinking about signing yourself up for it? Really, it's a kickstart to having the body and the health and fitness of your dreams for lifetime. So a lot of challenges and weight loss programs and things like that is they really focus on the can't haves and the have nots and the should nots. And this challenge is all about how do you have the stuff you love, do the stuff you love, and get the results that you want to do as well. So we're never going to tell you to not eat chocolate or eat the things that you love, but we're going to show you how you can make these things work for you. Because the reality is anyone can go without for 8 weeks, but what happens after that 8 weeks? And I'm sure you're not signing up to an 8-week challenge to look great for maybe a week or two after and then put on all the weight plus more, because stats show that when you do actually do a weight loss challenge, if it's not something that is sustainable and something you can maintain, the research shows and studies show that people actually put on more than their original or their weight loss that they've done over that challenge. And you can't mess with scientific facts. So the idea of this is really just to teach you and give you a great understanding of how food and exercise actually works. How do we actually make it simple and achievable? So none of this is about, all right, you've got 4 hours in a gym, go. Like, it's not about that. It's how do we do as little as possible to get maximum results? Because whether you're a family, whether you're a mum and dad, whether you're a business person, whether you've got a job, doesn't matter what it is that you do, we all have very, very busy lives. And we are personal trainers and we don't have time to spend hours in a gym. And you shouldn't either, because you should be out doing the things you love with the people that you love, not having to spend hours in the gym, and also not having to say, oh, I can't eat that. Or, you know, if a friend asks you out for dinner to an Italian restaurant, we don't want you to have to say, oh, I'm on a challenge, I can't eat pasta, so sorry, it'll have to be another time. It's all about how do you make life enjoyable and live it the way you want to live it, but make everything work so that you can, you know, maybe it's those 5 extra kilos that you want to lose, whatever it might be. Maybe it's a drastic loss, doesn't matter. But it's all about simple, effective health and fitness that works for you, because everybody is different too. Matt and I are married and we eat very differently. I'm a pescatarian, he loves meat, and I love things that he doesn't love, etc., etc. So it's not a cookie cutter thing here. We're not going to go, this is exactly what you're going to eat. We're going to educate you around how food actually works.
Because there's people out there that actually like kale and we hate it.
Hate
so
kale.
We ain't going to say you have to eat kale, but apparently it's a superfood and we super hate it. So it's not, there's no right way. Everyone's different. It's only your way that's right for you. Yeah. And the reason you eat the food you eat is because you like them. So why would we take them away from you? But we're going to teach you how to understand what you're eating and how to take control of what you're eating. Because quite often it's not necessarily what we are eating, it's just how much we're eating. And we're going to teach you all about that though. So it's very simple.
Yes, I have had kale chips, still can't do it. No, I don't care how healthy that shit is. I can't do it, sorry. But it's also the way to get massive results and sustainable results is to not try and change everything you're doing in 180 degrees. So if you're eating this way, we don't want to go, all right, you have to eat this way. We want to go, all right, can we tweak it slightly, or how do we make what you eat fit? Because if you wake up and you love to have Fruit Loops for breakfast, like that is your thing, then why would we say you can't eat Fruit Loops? Because that's just going to start you off on a bad foot already.
Yeah.
So it's all about how to make the things that you love work, but also getting a healthy understanding of, all right, there may be some healthier choices that you could make for sure. But where everything's like a 2 millimeter shift, because if we drastically try and change everything in your life, it gets too much. We resort back to old habits. We resort back to what's comfortable. And that's not going to get you that lifelong results that you're wanting to achieve. If you are looking to starve yourself for the next 8 weeks, we are not the challenge for you. If you are looking to spend 15 hours a day in a gym, we are not the challenge for you. We're here to make life work, but for you to feel great, look great, be healthy, fit and strong at the end of it, and to be able to carry that on for a lifetime.
And it's almost controversial to what the fitness profession says. It's like, you have to starve yourself, you have to work out at least an hour a day if you're going to receive any results. You can't do this, you can do this, and it's really confusing. And what we've done is, and what we love with how we train and teach people, is we like to make it as simple as possible, because we believe that our profession has made it so bloody complex, we don't even know what they're talking about half the time. So the reality is, we want to teach you guys that it's not as complex as it's been made out to be. So we just need you to really trust that what we're doing is here to help you. And if you do surrender to that, you'll notice that there's a really beneficial positive to that when it finishes. So basically how this challenge works, so it comes down to 2 parts. There's main component is probably 3 parts actually. So nutrition is one component, exercise is another component, and we do a mind component too, because the reality is that the transition you go through is 3-prong, and that 3rd prong is probably the most important, because the journey up here is influenced by what people and what's going into our head. So if we only ever watch Instagram and Facebook and all that sort of stuff there, you're going to be influenced by what they're showing you, which is quite often the wrong thing. And it can be confusing to do. So and
it's also the glorified version of what they're doing too.
Exactly. It really is. So we're going to focus on those 3 prongs, basically to make it really as simple as possible.
And so tonight, again, just to recap as well, is to teach you, I guess, what this challenge is about, but also how to really succeed through this challenge too. We've done quite a few interviews with the top place getters in the last round of this challenge that we did, and they all had a couple of things in common. They surrendered and trusted the process. As much it will really mess with your head and go, I couldn't possibly eat that much and lose weight, or that kind of thing. They all just were consistent. They weren't extreme. There was nobody that did hours and hours of exercise a day, or really anything like that. Our 3rd place male, age, I think 3rd or second. Adrian McCarthy, he got shredded, and he didn't have the time to be able to do most of our 30-minute boot camps, but he was doing 4 minutes a day, yet he had these results. So it's about making it work for you, because everybody is different. We're going to give you the tools, and you got to make that mold into your lifestyle, into your family. Because
there's no right, wrong way. There's only what's right for you and your lifestyle. And we're all different. Some have time, some are time rich, some are time poor. So you got to make what we give you, you're going to put the pieces into the gaps that you have. And we're going to teach you how to do that. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
You're not on your own to do that, which is really cool.
The other one thing that everyone that placed and did really succeeded in the last challenge, another thing they all had in common was they did all attend our IQ sessions, or at least watch them at some point. So our IQ session is what tonight is. It's a bit of a snapshot. We do these every Thursday night at 6:30. They go for half an hour, and they attack everything mind, body, health and fitness, but not just limited to the body, but also to personal development kind of stuff too, and how to really get your mindset right. And that was another thing they had in common too. With all of our sessions, because this is an online challenge, you can be anywhere in the world and doing this, which is awesome, but everything is live and on demand. So everything is recorded, and then you can actually access it at any point. So this is being recorded right now. You'll be able to watch this back 100 times if you like. I'd probably encourage not, because surely you've got better things to do in your day. But the links are always posted so that you can watch or do a boot camp, like a class or something, at any point throughout your day and whenever suits for you. as well. Now, okay, first prong that I want to talk about is the nutrition side of things. How does that work? So what we do is we teach you, it's a calorie focus, but it's a larger calorie focus than what most other challenges would probably prescribe. A lot of weight loss programs really focus on drastic measures. And you can only do that for so long before A, you get sick of it, and B, your body does too. So this is a really controlled and calculated approach to eating. And it's all about the numbers. So
okay, can I jump in really quickly? Now, this is about to sound really boring because it's about numbers, control. It doesn't sound exciting right now, but trust us, or I have to jump in really quickly. It's at the beginning, it's challenging. This is one of the challenges you're going to go through because you are going to need to track, you're now going to need to process. But as it unravels and you get your head around it, you'll find that it gets easier. So even though Sharon's about to talk about numbers and calculations and stuff like that, just know that that's only at the beginning. That's a little bit frustrating. You might go, I'm not really good at that, but we're going to teach you how to make it simple because quite often when it comes to nutrition, we're creatures of habit.
Yes.
We very much eat the same things repetitively over and over again. You currently are doing it. What we're going to teach you to do is how to take awareness of the volume, the number attached to that food that you're eating. Now, you might have done calories before and go, oh, calories don't work for me. No, they didn't work for you because you're probably being told what to eat. Now, we're not telling you what to eat. We're going to say, keep eating what you're eating, but just be aware of what you're eating and how much each thing you're eating is worth. And what you might find is that your Big Mac combo that you love to have on a Friday night when you get a bit of a fright, when it's over 1,000 calories for one Big Mac, some chips and a drink.
And the thing is part of this challenge is there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. It is a sometimes food. That's what we're going to educate you. But as long as you make the numbers work, you can make it work for you. So for example, if you're, I love a Kit Kat at the moment. I'm like really on Kit Kats and I love my coffee. So I start with that in my day. That's part of my expenditure for my day. And we kind of like to look at calories as a wage. So money, people understand calories when it comes to money. So if you get paid $1,000 a week, you've got $1,000 to spend, and you can do that however you want. You might put a portion of it away to save, et cetera, et cetera. But if you go over that number, you're now in debt. And that's the same as if you eat too much, then you put on weight. If you eat less than that, than your wage, your number, then you eventually lose weight. So we're going to give you the formula to do a really steady and easy approach to getting those results. And also making it work for you. So you will get a nutrition plan, which has a heap of recipes, and all of those recipes and stuff designed around pretty staple things that you've got most likely going to have in your cupboard. And so you don't need to go out and spend $1,000 on a new pantry stocking and fridge stocking and all that kind of thing. It's all supposed to be pretty general. However, you don't have to use these recipes either. We're going to teach you how to make it work for you. So again, if you love to have your Fruit Loops of a morning for breakfast, go for it. If you don't like to eat breakfast, you don't have to either. So heaps of studies have been done to show that, let's say your calories for the day are 1,500. If you eat those 1,500 calories in one meal or over 6, 7, 12, it has no different effect on your body, especially weight-wise. However, you got to do what works for you. Me personally, I don't like to eat lots of little meals. I like to have less but larger meals, whereas one of our other trainers, Tanya, she needs to be constantly eating. That's just how her body responds best. So again, you've got to make it work for you. And that's why we're not going to go, all right, 7 a.m., you've got to eat this, this, and this, because at 7 a.m. we're training clients. So we don't actually have that luxury. And again, this is not how to do well for 8 weeks. This is how to do well for lifetime and making it work for you. And in doing that, we had incredible results of the last challenge. People just got really, just a great knowledge around it all, and just understanding the value of something. Like when it comes to the calories, if we're going to a supermarket spend, again, referring it to like a wage, roughly how much you're going to spend at the supermarket each week. You don't know specifics like $321.43, but you know that roughly each week you're going to spend X amount. And it's the same thing with calories. It's getting you aware of, okay, I can have the chocolate bar, but I need to know that it's 243 calories or 240, around about those. Okay, that's cool. I've got about this much left. So it's just having a rough and understanding of the value of things so that you can make it work for you. That pretty on it.
I think that's bang on it. We're going to give you the formulas and we're going to give you all that stuff when we throw the program to you, sorry. So when you get that, it'll explain everything about these numbers. You don't need to understand them just now. Just know that that's the formula we're going to give you. It's really simple to follow. It's not that crazy. Once you get it, it's pretty straightforward from there. So that's the nutrition side of it.
Yeah.
You're going to take control of it. We're going to teach you how to take control of it and enjoy the whole thing. That's the purpose of this whole challenge, is to enjoy the process, not feel like you're going without.
Yes.
That's the big key thing. The second prong is exercise. Now, this is much like the nutrition side of things. Now, some people are time rich, some people are time poor, and you have to make what works for you. Now, there's no right or wrong way of doing it. And we just give you multiple forms and multiple platforms that allow you to be able to choose what works for you. So sometimes you might be able to get online and do a session with us because that works for you. And that's fantastic. So you jump on and do that. So you'll plan that maybe a Monday, you can always hit that session. So then what that means is that you can be on that Monday session. So you plan, I'm doing a Monday session at 6:30 p.m. I will be there, or 5:30 p.m. I'll be there. On a Tuesday, I can't make it. So I need to do something on my own. I'm going to choose something I want to do outdoors. And we're going to give you a list of different things that you could choose to do outdoors. Now, we do high intensity options and we do low intensity options. So you can choose. So if you don't want to do a high intensity impact because you've had a hard day at work, you could do a long, we call it a list exercise, which is low intensity steady training, which means that you just have to go for a bit longer. It's not a 20-minute session. It's more like you need to be out for 45 minutes to maybe an hour to achieve the same outcome as a 20-minute session. But if you're time poor, then that won't work for you. So you'll need to probably opt for the high intensity sessions.
And that's also like the list, low intensity steady training is great for if you do have challenges or injuries and stuff like that. So that's where we come in to help you with that too, is that there is options around. You don't have to do the classes online if they don't work for you. You might have bung knees or something like that, whatever it might be. Anyway, we can help you with that. And we just ask you to reach out for guidance with that we can help you. But we give you a real large array of options to make work for you.
Which is really cool. And we've got things right from, swimming programs to running programs to rowing programs to paddleboarding. Like we've thought of all these things coming into summer that people are going to want to do. So why wouldn't we give you a program that you could do doing what you love to do? That's kind of how we want to make that stuff happen. And obviously the third prong is all about the IQ sessions and stuff like that. And we love to do those sessions because they are the transitional things that get you from that hang up you might have about taking that first photo for the transformation challenge. And then all of a sudden at the end of it, transforming your brain and your confidence in yourself to be able to take multiple photos over the session. But we'll talk about that in a bit.
So that kind of gives you a snapshot of what the challenge is all about. So we've done a really holistic approach. It's the food, it's the exercise, and it's the mindset too, to really make sure that you're set up to not just win for 8 weeks and have a great body for Christmas Day, but how to literally make this for a lifetime, because we all start off entering into something like this because we want change. And I bet I'm just going to take a punt here and say that you don't want just change for 2 weeks. You want it for, the rest of your life. And how good would that feel? And it is totally possible, which is awesome, without having to feel like you have to eat kale. You can eat kale if you like it, but I really don't recommend it. That tastes like dirt. But that's kind of around the exercise and the food point of view. I guess now we probably go into, and again, at any point, please type in any questions into the chat box, but we'll also open up for questions at the end as well if we've glazed over anything too generalized, not specific enough for you too. The next one is the requirements of the challenge. You don't have to do you don't have to do anything. The only way that what you need to do to be in the running to win the challenge is to submit your photos to an email that you send through. Now, this is the biggest mind challenge that people have at the start and all the way through. I admit that, because we're going to get you to send photos of you in as little clothing as possible, but please wearing clothing. So ideally, ladies in a bikini or like a sports crop and underpants, that kind of thing, because it's a transformation challenge. So we need to be able to see your body to be able to judge the transformation. Now, just so you know, week 1 right through to the last week photo, not the final, is 100% private, and the only person that actually gets to see that has come through is myself. No other trainers, nothing like that. The only time that anybody else will see those photos is we'll do a comparison of your very first photo and your final photo for judging purposes, because again, it's a transformation photo. Now, I need you to understand that we have seen every body shape, and one of the number 1 rules at FBFM is zero judgment. So I want you to really take comfort in the fact that there is no judgment going on over here at all, because we understand that everybody is different and that everybody has been on a journey, whether you've had kids or whether you've been through whatever, it doesn't matter. And we are not looking at your body, we're judging the transformation for you. And please know that it comes from a really it comes from our heart, that we really mean that. We really do. So your biggest hurdle and your biggest challenge is going to be that first photo. Now, how you do that is we do a front photo, a side photo, and a back photo. We recommend that you do it in the same clothes each week, because that way you can see the change too. And surprise, surprise, we're actually going to get you to chuck out your scales after you weigh yourself first. Because if there's one message that I would love people to come away from with this is that please stop letting a number on the scales determine your worth. Because who cares if you weigh 56 kilos or 156 kilos? Because no one actually knows. You don't know how much I weigh. You don't know how much Matt weighs. It doesn't matter. And when you purchase that top online, it didn't ask you to enter in your kilograms. You go off measurements. Measurements are more important than the weight that you are. So, and 9.5 times out of 10, stepping on the scales never results in you going, yeah, I'm awesome, I'm hot, I'm wicked, let's go. It usually results in quite the opposite kind of response. And we want to promote a healthy, fit and strong and happy lifestyle. And let's cull that first. Let's take away those opportunities. So we are going to be judging on photos, and you will submit a photo once a week. We give you the opportunity to submit that from Sunday through till Monday night at midnight. You'll hold up in that photo either on a phone or on a device, our week 1 photo. We will send that through to you, so you've got access to that, or you can print it off, doesn't matter, but it needs to be in those photos so that it's fair and it can't be tampered with, or it can't be a photo from 3 years ago and that kind of thing too. So you go front photo, side photo, back photo. Again, all of this detail is going to come through to you on email over the weekend to getting you prepared, but this is just a pretty good general snapshot so people understand what's involved. The way that we judge who the winner is purely by those photos. Now, we do encourage participation in the group and stuff like that, more so for your success as well as building our community. Community is really important to us. So getting yourself involved and as involved as much as possible leads to massive success. Like our winner, the champ from our last one, is actually online with us tonight, Hayley Miller, and she didn't miss a beat. She was at every IQ session. If she couldn't make it because of kids or family, then she would catch up on the session later. And she did her boot camp or her classes, and she hit her numbers and all that kind of thing too. So, and
I need to promote this a little bit to Hayley too. When the 8-week challenge finished, she kept going. She didn't stop because she won it, and she didn't back off. She actually kept applying, kept attending the IQ sessions, kept doing that stuff. So she created a lifestyle change. Even though she won, she didn't stop. Where she could have stopped, walked away and gone, I won the challenge. I've done my bit. I've finished. She kept the habits going because that's what the whole thing was about, was creating something that you could do forever and not have to stop. That's what this is all about. So we're going to teach you now about how do you succeed in this challenge. That's the key one. First one is you have to plan. A fail to plan is a plan to fail. That's the easiest line to put this in. If you just wing it each week, if you're winging it and you'll most likely bump along. If you take the time to plan your week out, plan your food out, you'll be more likely to be successful through the challenge, be it if you win the challenge or you win with something that you've set yourself to do. So by planning the week ahead, on a Sunday night, sit down with your family and go, cool, I want to do this session online. I want to be outdoors doing this one, do this one, and include them in the process. All of a sudden, that planning structure and everyone's in on board with your training, they hold you accountable, they keep you going, and they know that what you're trying to do. And you become this amazing role model for your family and your friends, showing that I said I was going to do this, and then I went and did it. The amount of people who say they're going to do something, I'm gonna, and they never actually do, is ridiculous. So why don't you commit for the 8-week challenge that you're going to plan the week and then follow through on the plan? And we get that things change and sometimes circumstances change, and that's totally fine as well. But you don't let it derail you. You just let it refocus you and then question, why did that happen? Will it happen again? Do I need to plan slightly differently? So you have to plan the week if you want to be successful for long-term change. Planning is really important.
Yeah, definitely. The next thing is trust and surrender to the process. Because you'll ask anyone who did the first round, once they finally let go and gave into the process and didn't challenge it, the results came. And our winner, Hayley Miller, is a perfect example of that. She had an incredible transformation. And it was because although there was a mind battle at the start, 100%, I'm sure she'll agree that was definitely there. Like, oh, I couldn't possibly eat this much and lose weight because other challenges have said that you probably should eat like very, very minimal. But again, that's not sustainable. But the results are there. You've seen on social media some of the results from the last challenge, and that's just a very small, minute section of them. But it does work, and so to get results and to get success through this is to trust the process and just surrender to it. Because one of our favorite sayings is, "What if? What if it works? Not what if it doesn't, but what if it does? And what if it is that simple?" And I think that can be the real key to getting you what you want.
And I think what people get, the biggest hang up they get is when they work out what their number is, they realize how much food that actually is. Now, the question is, if you could eat that much food and still achieve your goal, would you? That's what you're trying to answer. And if the answer is, of course I would, then you will just trust the process that we're not here to stitch you up. I promise you, that's not what we're trying to do. Your current weight is a number, and the number we're going to give you is a deficit. And so that means it comes down a little bit lower, which means that your current weight, if you just kept eating what you're eating, will stay the same. We're taking it down, which means that you will always go down in weight. That number is strategically designed so that it will go down in weight, but it will seem like a lot of food. So this is where people get the mind shift, which is why these IQ sessions are so important, because it helps you transition through the wrestle that you're going to have with yourself. Or the worst one is that I had a friend who did a challenge one time, and he just ate 700 calories of broccoli a day, and it worked for him. And you get hung up on what worked for someone else, but you got to remember everyone's different. Okay, so you just have to trust the process, but please trust us that we're here to help you win.
And we're not here to stitch you up.
No, I promise you, it'll be the stupidest challenge in the world.
Let's be honest, that would not be good for our rap. Not what we're intending to do. And then the other thing is learn and be open to learning that there is a new way, that what you've done in the past may have worked for a short term, but you're where you are now because of what you've consistently done. So let us teach you the ways, but you just got to be consistent. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be 100% every single day. You're going to have slip ups, you're going to have that, but it's all about the consistency. We are what we repeatedly do. And if you're just consistent, there's no other way to wrap it. You just got to be consistent and just keep chipping away at it. If you have a bad day, that's okay. Tomorrow's a new day. You can start afresh. It doesn't mean, oh, I'll start next week. No, it's draw a line in the sand, pick yourself up and go again. You got this.
The other one, another good one here, that's brilliant. I love that consistency thing. One of the cool things with the nutrition is once a week, we actually ask you to eat 600 calories more than your daily allowance, which is huge. Like, you'll see how much food you're eating, and then we're going to say, we want you to go and eat more. What that does, it allows you to go, well, I'm going to have that on my Friday, and providing all these lockdown restrictions change, I'm going to go out and have dinner with my family and enjoy it because I've got 600 calories extra to plan for and allow for my day. We actually tell you to go and eat more than you're already currently eating, which you're going to go, it doesn't make any sense. But you have to trust the process, surrender to the process, and trust that we are here.
And you can also drink those extra 600 calories too, because remember, alcohol does count towards your calories too. So you do have to make sure you track them as well.
Easy peasy.
So I think that's kind of wraps up how to succeed. Just learn, be consistent, trust and surrender to the process, but also plan. That really gets you there too. Now, the next one is tools that you're going to need. You're going to need a calorie tracker. We recommend MyFitnessPal. It's an app that you can use on your phone. It's really quite user-friendly. And again, we've mentioned that the first couple of weeks are probably going to be a bit tedious because it's new, it's shifting, and you're trying to work out these calories. But after that, you generally are creatures of habit. So I promise you, it does get easier from there as well. But it's a massive eye-opener, and that's probably the number one takeaway from the last challenge was people commenting on how much the calories information has taught them and how much that has benefited them too. So MyFitnessPal, and then also access to Facebook. Now, if you're not on Facebook, we recommend even just creating a profile. You don't have to have any friends, just so you can have access to the Facebook groups. And now there's 2 that you need to be a part of, and a third one that's optional. Sounds like a lot, I know, sorry, but it's not that bad. We have an 8-week challenge group. Now, these links will all come through to you for you to jump on and click join. So there's an 8-week challenge group. That's our community support page. We encourage you to get in there and share your successes, share recipes, chat with the guys. It's really a community hub kind of thing. And it's to show that there's other people probably experiencing what you're experiencing too. You'll notice that every now and then someone will chuck in going, struggling today, guys, how we doing? It just creates that and promotes that community spirit and environment. Yeah.
And that's part of that key to success, is to be really engaged in that group. And that's a closed off group. It's not open to the public to see. It's only for the members of the challenge that will be in there. So it's completely private between those that have entered in it. So you're all on the same journey, and we keep it that way for that. Cool.
The other group is our FBFM at home group, and this is where you have access to all of the at home workouts. So whether you do them live with us at 6:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the evening, they're 30-minute classes, and each day is different. So Muscle Monday is a day that we really focus on lifting heavy things. Tuesday, we call it Tasty Tuesday. Also a day that we release a recipe and a recipe video, like a little Sheridan cooking show every Tuesday. But Tuesday is more like a huffy puffy kind of cardio inspired day. Wednesday is all about the legs. We call it WTF Wednesday. What the? Thirsty Thursday, again, a happy puffy. And then Friday is about a bit of all over. And we also have our free Fridays of a Friday night as well, that we encourage people to invite their friends and family to come and have a bit of a happy dose of good endorphins through their body. And so that FBFM at home, it gives you the access links, like the Zoom links to those. And now you don't have to have your camera on for when you're doing the Zoom workouts. You can do them live with us, or we actually post the recording after the session as well. So you can do that at any time. And there's also a PDF. We have some deaf members too, so that we've done PDF so that anyone can read along. Or if you're sick of looking at us and hearing our voices, you can just go and do it in your own time by reading the PDF and being your own timer and stuff like that too. So there's heaps of options. Plus we have our exercise guide, which includes our list and our HIIT exercises for you to be able to do at any time. So if you want to go out for a walk, here's 8 different workouts that you can get by walking or paddle boarding and stuff like that, if you wanted to get a bit more bang for your buck. So that's kind of your tools. We also have like meal planners and stuff for you to access and stuff like that. This will all come through to you on email, but everything will be accessed through that 8-week challenge Facebook group too. Under files, you'll be able to get everything that's ever posted and sent to you as well. So that's our Facebook groups. Accountability. This is something new that we're adding in this time. We're giving you the opportunity to be a part of an accountability group. It'll be small numbers in a group where you guys can really hold each other accountable, whether it be posting your calories at the end of each day so that you make sure that you're on it. And that's something that you can opt in. So whether you want to do it alone or in a small group, that's a possibility for you too. There's no extra points for doing that or anything like that. Remember that the judging is purely done on those photos, but it just gives you another form of being accountable and having a support network, really, is what that comes down to. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about is the support. All of the trainers here at FBFM are here to help you and to help you succeed, but we don't know what we don't know. So we just encourage you guys to reach out to us. If you have a question, you're not sure what something means, you don't know how to do an exercise exactly, maybe you've got an injury or a challenge that you don't know how to work around, maybe you just need a little motivational push and maybe you need a little kick up the ass, a 4-step in the right direction. Let us be there to help you. But of course, we don't know if we don't know as well. So please, you'll get access to our mobile numbers. You can reach us through Facebook. You can reach us through the FBFM groups and emails and stuff, however works best for you. And please we just really mean it. We're here to support you, but everyone needs different support. So please just reach out and let us know what you do actually need so that we can give you that and make sure you get massive success.
And that's us done.
I think I've talked enough.
We'll share it and we'll round up out, add another 25 minutes on. So we'll wrap it up there. And if you have any questions, can you please flick them through? We're here to ask, or you might want to, are you going to unmute?
I'm going to put it in the gallery view so I can see you all at once. Just wave your hand at me if you have a question that you would like to ask. Oh, Ash has got a question. I'm going to ask you to unmute. You should be able to unmute now, Ash. There you go. Hello, lovely.
How are we?
Good. How are you?
I've just got a quick question about the macro side of things. I think that's one thing I struggled a little bit with last time, is just trying to, and I don't know whether I should put that aside and just focus on the calorie side of things. But I just sort of struggled a little bit to understand sort of how to structure each meal. And I was using my Fitness Pal, but maybe it's just me being a blonde, having no idea. But I just felt like sometimes I was questioning myself as to whether I should eat that because it was a little bit higher in carbs, or, and so I just wondered whether there was, something that you could provide us with that helps us to understand. And I know that you did an IQ session on it, and that's super helpful as well. And that helped me understand a little bit more, but maybe just like an example of what would be like a perfect meal to fit that type of macro. I was just...
Great questions there, Ash. And I know that a few people have that same kind of thought process. So the way we approach anything, especially when someone starts with FBFM, we always change one variable at a time. So if we were to go calories, exercise, macros, blah, 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 it'd get a little bit too much too soon. If you've already got the calories dialed, excellent. We can, there will be a guideline on recommended macronutrient breakdown. For those of you that don't know, macronutrients is how is our body's fuel. It's broken into 4 things. You've got protein, you've got fat, you've got carbohydrates, and you do actually have alcohol. Not recommended fuel source, but it is one of them. And so it's what Ashley's asking about is what breakdown, like do you do 50% carbohydrates, 30% protein, 20% fat? How do you do that? So what we recommend is, first things first, your calories are the first priority. You got to hit those numbers first. And then from there, in week 3, we'll actually teach you more on the macronutrient side of things. But I'll make sure that's a little more clearer to Ash, and I'll make sure there's a lot more videos and stuff to come through for you to make that clear. But I just don't want to go into that just yet, because I don't want to overload with too much information of like, what's a carb? How much is this? But that will come with a suggestion. But your first priority is always to hit those numbers, because that's kind of where the gold starts. Is that good? Awesome. Thank you. All right. We've had a couple of questions come through in the chat. Yes, you can expect access to the Facebook groups and info to be sent to your emails 100%. That'll all come through over the weekend to give you time to read through everything and get prepared for the challenge starting on Monday. And it'll also, all of that information will also be stored in the Facebook group as well. So you can access it through email or through the Facebook group as well. Thanks, Nat. And again, any questions on those things that we send out, please always send them through. Hey, Kimmy. All right, the cost of the challenge. So if you're a current member, that it's $60 to register. If you're not a current member, it's $159, and that gets you the full 8 weeks. So what's included is the entry into the challenge. It gets you the access to all of those online workouts and everything else that comes in with that FBFM at home membership as well. So $159, it's all a one-off payment and it's done and dusted, and then you get to enjoy yourself for 8 weeks and get sweaty, lean, and healthy, fit, and strong. Melinda's just asked, is the first photo on Monday? Yes, it is. So the initial photo, you'll be sent the PDF of, it'll say like Fit Body, Fit Mind, week 1, photo kind of thing, and you will get that sent through to you on Sunday. So you've got from Sunday to Monday night at midnight to send through your first photo. Now that gets sent through to an email address called transformation@fbfm.com.au. No one has access to it except me, but again, I only look at it to tick off that you sent it through and maybe then prompt you to go, hey Hayley, you haven't sent your photo in, just checking in, making sure you're okay, etc., etc. And again, zero judgment, but we do those photos weekly. When you're looking at them, because you're going to, we always recommend to compare them back to the first week, not to the previous week. So if you're at week 5, compare week 5 to your first week's photo. Don't go back to week 4 because you're going to do that. And I promise you will. And that's the way to get through that. But you are going to send through photos each week. Hopefully that answers that one. Yes, normal bra and undies totally okay to wear. So ladies, we kind of need, ladies and gents, we need you to be covered up. I don't want to be looking at your junk. Keep it classy. But I do need to see as much as possible. So the guidelines are, ladies, something along the lines of a bikini. So whether that, you get the gist of how much that shows, whether that be your underpants and a sports crop, maybe it is a bikini, doesn't matter. Undies and bra, totally fine. Lads, in your jocks would be great. Something along those lines too, just to make sure that we can really get to see your full transformation. If you cover too much, we don't get to see it as well, but I don't want to see your balls. just to put it out there. Muscle Monday, how heavy should our weights be to start with? That's a really great question. That's going to be very different for each person. You're probably the best person to answer this one.
Yeah, easy.
I'll let you talk. You get a little bit.
So if you can lift something that is 20, you can lift something 20 times, the weight is generally regarded as too easy for you. So you're trying to find something that challenges you to get to 15. And that's a great place to start with weights. So if you focus on going, cool, can I lift this with my arms 20 times? Yep, cool. I probably need to find something a little bit heavier around the house, or find an extra weight or source something like that. That's the easiest way to look at it. Because that way then it's not too light that it's doing just high reps and it's not really doing anything. So we want to stress out the muscle a little bit. So you need to find something that challenges you in that regards there.
If you don't have gym equipment at home, your muscles don't know whether you're lifting a dumbbell, you're lifting a child, or you're lifting a heavy backpack. It doesn't matter. We'll help you get creative as well with finding stuff at home, whether it be pot plants, gas bottles from the barbecue. There's so many different options that you can use so that you don't have to have gym equipment at home. But then again, if gyms open up and you've got access to a gym, great, you can use that too. But we'll show you the ways around that, because we don't expect everyone to have a full gym set up. Matt and I got left with, I think, 1 dumbbell each over the last lockdown. So you can make it work, I promise you that. Hopefully that answers that, Jess. Next one. Hey, Paul. Christmas and travel, any plans to account for this challenging holiday time? Personally, I'll be traveling with the caravan and limited access to weights and stuff. stuff. Yeah, of course, mate. There's heaps of ways around that. Again, like we said, we give you the tools to be able to pick and choose from the menu for what works for you in that time. And again, if you are traveling with a caravan, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of heavy things on that caravan too. The caravan itself, you can push that sucker. There's ways around everything and we'll find them. And that's really where Matt is the genius in getting creative with that stuff too, to help you find things that you would never think. Like he'll walk into a garage and go, all right, that can be used for that. And the person that has that house is like, I never thought of that. So there's heaps of ways around it. And also this is designed to help you be able to travel and do those things without having to have a fully stocked pantry. So we can show you what you can eat on the run and things like that as well when your access is a little bit limited too. Yeah. Cool. Amazing. Did you have anything else?
And I'm happy to have a chat too, Paul, if you need to. If you just want to have a sort of let me know what you got kind of thing, and we can just sort of pick some things out. So happy to do it one-on-one as well. So we're closer to the time. So we'll always make it work for you guys. There's always a way. You just have to be open to sometimes it's not quite as glamorous as having a set of dumbbells. Sometimes you just have to improvise. And it's like Sheridan was saying before, the muscles don't know if it's a dumbbell or if it's a table. It has no clue. It just knows resistance. Yeah. And they don't know how to count. So you just do as many as you can.
Yeah. Yes, this challenge does start this coming Monday, the 26th of October. Sorry, our dog just needs to be let out. Monday, the 26th of October, which is this coming Monday. And it runs right through until Monday, the 21st of December. So literally right in time for Christmas, baby, in your Christmas suit, which is exciting. And look, if you've got, I know that COVID restrictions at the moment, we don't know what's going to be able to happen, but Christmas parties and things like that, sometimes people would look at that as I can't do it because I've got to have all these social events. Well, this is actually a perfect opportunity to do that stuff so that you can work out how to live and socialize and do normal things, but still get the body that you want. And, have your chocolate cake and eat it too, that kind of thing. So our girl Enza, who's on with us tonight as well, she got the 6-pack happening and she ate chocolate cake every Saturday night without fail, and she enjoyed every bite of it. So we really want to get that through to you, that you can eat the things that you love, but as long as you make it work for you. And same with the exercise, plan ahead and get in what works for you. Adrian, one of our top 3 guys, he could literally fit in 4 minutes a day, and we've got I think 75 different 4-minute workouts for you to choose from, so that especially if you're a mum and you're in between nap times of kids or whatever, you can chuck in a 4-minute workout. And I promise you those 4 minutes are bloody tough. They are really tough, and they will get you results too. So do we have any other questions? Any other typing faces? No? Any other waves? But like I said, and we really, really mean this, is that if you do have any questions, we're here to answer them. So feel free to call us. Most of you should have my number at least by now anyway. Text me and say you'd like a chat, or happy to chat over text or email, doesn't matter. We're here to help you succeed, and we're here to give you our time and our support too. We've got me, Matt, you've got Ash, and you've got Tanya as well, who's ready to get you through it as well. And I'm not going to say this is going to be the easiest 8 weeks of your life. There's definitely going to be some challenges that you'll hit. And I'm not going to suggest that you're going to win every day, but you're going to be a lot better than what you've been doing. And I promise you will get the results as long as you surrender and trust that process too. And just have some fun with it. Because what if it's that simple? What if you could eat all the food and still get the body of your dream? What if you didn't have to spend hours in a gym and get that dream body? Please trust the process, surrender to it. We've got the results to prove it, that it's just not Matt and I. It's, there's many other people, especially online right now, that have done it before, and their results speak for themselves. We've had another one come through. You'll be a new member. Yes, you will be able to access the workouts on Zoom for sure. So what happens is 30 minutes before a live session. So we do them at 6:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Now, just so you know, morning and evening, each workout is actually different. So we post the link to the Zoom roughly 30 minutes before the session, along with the workout PDF, so that you can see if you're going to need any equipment. Now, that's the other thing. You don't actually need any specific gym equipment. You don't have to have a skipping rope or, dumbbells or anything like that. There will be times that skipping is included, but we'll give you alternatives too. And there's some people that can't skip, so all that kind of thing as well. But 30 minutes before the workout, you get sent on the Facebook, we post a link for the Zoom workout. After the workout is done, I then post the recording of it, which is a YouTube link that you can then access at any point. Now, that's an unlisted YouTube link, so you won't be able to hop on YouTube and search Fit Body, Fit Mind day, Tuesday workout. It's actually unlisted, so it's just for you members only, so only you guys have access to it. But because they are posted, the recording of that is posted, you can actually do that at any time. You can do it in 3 weeks' time, or you can do it tonight at 10 p.m. Doesn't matter. You can access them at any time. We have another one. If you do a catch up on one of the boot camps because we can't make the live sessions, are you wanting us to let you know by the normal sweaty selfie? Asking because I can't commit to certain classes because of the baby is the boss. Look, we at the end of a session, we love you to post a sweaty selfie. The reason we do that is because you never know who it inspires to get up and do a workout as well. But of course, it is an essential. So you don't have to, but even if you do it later, we would love to see that you've done it. A, so we can high five you and say, you go girl. But B, also because you just don't know what that does for someone else as well. So, but you don't have to. There's nothing that you have to do as well. I think that's pretty much covered it. I can't see any more typing faces. You guys get typing faces, just so you know. And I can see when you're thinking. But again, reach out if you have any questions. We can register all the way up until Monday as well. If you do have any friends or family that could be interested or you'd love to get healthy, fit and strong, I'm going to post the recording to this info session tonight as well. So you can actually send that around to anyone you want. And of course, what we're all challenging for is the grand prize. $1,000 cash goes to the winner, plus personal training sessions, plus FBFM merch, coaching calls and all that kind of thing. And then we've also got first place for female first and male, second and third place for female and male as well. So there's actually ends up being 7 prize winners at the end, but the big dog prize is the $1,000 cash, but the total prize pool ends up being about $3,000, which is awesome. Haley got her $1,000 cash. Yes, she did. And the options were to either spend it on the backyard, which I've requested that it's a sculpture of me. That didn't fly either. But that is to do however you want to do. To use that as well, or it's a dirty weekend away with her husband. So either way, we'd probably be happy with either, I guess. But thank you guys so much for joining us. And we would love to have you join us if you haven't already registered. Again, send this link around to anyone that you would like to get on board. If you do have any further questions, reach out. We're here to support you. Have a sensational Thursday night. Free Friday tomorrow night if you want to get on and try a workout that you haven't done before. Every Friday night at 5:30. The link is on our Facebook page. It's an event that you can click on and be a part of. No one cares how many reps you do, how fast you go or anything like that. You don't even have to have your camera on. Just come and be a part of it and enjoy it. So thank you guys so much for giving up your time and investing it in you. We're super excited for you. Bring on the next 8 weeks. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Mwah. Whoop, whoop.